way they line up. Reardon at full-back. Vicona, Naylor, Harpy, Vinacolo, Price and Deacon, they are both back. Forwards, Vangenaar, Lowe's and Anderson, Gartner, Peacock and Forshaw. And on the bench for Bradford, it's Gilmore, Radford, Parker and Fielden. The coach is Brian Noble. There's no Withers, no Paul and no Pratt. They're all out injured. And young Jamie Langley misses out on selection. Wigan, a huge boost for them. Radlinski is back at full-back for the first time in 4 months. Carney, Aspinwall, Hodgson and Dallas the three-quarters. O'Loughlin alongside Luke Robinson. There's no Adrian Lamb. The forwards, Pongier, Newton and Smith, Cassidy, Tickle and Farrell. And on the bench, Johnson, O'Connor, Sculthorpe and Gareth Hock. The coach, Mike Gregory. And in the stadium here, Manchester United footballers, Ryan Giggs on the left and Roy Keane on the right, and sandwiched in between, Nicky Butt. And of course in front of them, Dave Whelan and Maurice Lindsay, the chairman here of the Wigan Warriors. VIP guests, soccer player.
Secure top of the table position for the start of the playoffs. Wigan, well, they're chasing Leeds. And of course with Castleford's win on Friday night, golden opportunity for Andrew Farrell and his boys. This will be a classic.
It's Farrell, the man who will get us underway. Wigan in the cherry and white hoops, attacking from right to left as we watch. And Bradford will have first use of this football. They are in their changed jerseys, mostly black. James Lowe's in at dummy half after Reardon fielded the kick-off. And that is Peacock, who is thundered to the ground by Pongier and Craig Smith. Watch out for the big battle tonight between this man, Vangenaar, and the two Kiwi props on the other side, Smith and Pongier. And here is Peacock once again.
Interesting to see that the new coach, Mike Gregory, leaving Terry O'Connor on the bench. Obviously feels Pongier and Smith can take on the big Mike of this Bradford pack, and they are massive.
It's Deacon with the kick. How they missed him when we last saw Bradford against Hull. Here's the first touch for 4 months for Chris Radlinski. It wasn't the best kick from Deacon, it has to be said.
Well, to be fair, Eddie, I think that was the game plan. I think he would have been told by Brian Noble, listen, first chance you get, we want to test it. Make sure he gets the football and make sure our defence gets right into the fullback.
Here is Craig Smith now, taking on Gartner and also Deacon. Terry Newton in at dummy half with Farrell, and Farrell inside the 40-metre zone. But it's a wide pitch this, the JJB Stadium, and Reardon collects it on the bounce. Orish, he called then for Vicona to come outside him and then took them on. Good job that Farrell was there. Here now is Leon Price, playing on despite that sternum injury. Betty's been given pain-killing injections, and Mike Gregory, the Wigan Warriors coach, unbeaten so far in his tenure here. The 7th Wigan coach in 8 Super League seasons. So far, Mike Gregory has not lost a match. On halfway, Anderson plays the ball to Lowe's. And Reardon chiming into the line all the time. Big hit there by Pongier.
Was it ever? The fullback felt that one.
Lowe's to Anderson.
Keep your eye
Anderson
out.
still.
Keep your eye out, Eddie, on this Bradford side. They utilise their blind side so well. They've gone open, though.
Deacon floats it wide. Oh, and Harpy, well, he nearly got it away. And that was a knock-on by Carney.
Yep. They're trying to claim it, but Harpy, I felt, got full control of that ball eventually. That's the bobble and the wobble, and he got it. That's the knock-on. It'll be head and feet to the Bulls. Took a huge gamble, did Brian Carney. Could see that the ball was bobbling away there. Trying to get the big fella away on the wing. Steve Ganson, very quick to see that.
Good. Ball comes out to the back of the scrum with Forshaw. Here's Leon Price, now it's Scott Naylor. Great tackle by Aspinwall. Quick play the ball though by Bradford. Lowe's misses out one and finds Leon Price. He loses his footing. Goes down under the challenge of Hodgson. Didn't like it either. This now is Vicona. Vicona wrestled to the ground. O'Loughlin and Craig Smith. Lowe's at dummy half. They come down the short side. Lowe's applies the brakes for Craig Smith, and Farrell wrap him up.
Surely the kick to the corner.
Vicona to Leon Price. Width then to Deacon. And Deacon with the kick to the corner. Carney's after it. And there's going to be another set of 6 here.
He's offside. Goal offside.
Working him overtime.
Goal offside, mate.
Offside it is.
Got you, mate.
Just in
Offside
front.
against Bradford.
Sean Happy, I think it is. Contain Happy was just in front there, or was it the big fella? Either way, it was pretty close. And what a relief, because Brian Carney got to it very late indeed.
It was the call from the touch judge, that. Let's get down to Bill. I think you've got news of injuries already, Bill.
Well, it's just a bit more on Leon Price, Eddie. You mentioned the possibility of painkilling injection. I'm not so certain about that, but what you can see from Leon is that he's carrying an amazing amount of padding in that sternum injury. It obviously is still very tender, and I wouldn't be surprised if he was just trying to keep out of the firing line at the moment, because it really is a bit fiery out there. The other point early on is the amazing reception for Chris Radlinski with his first touch of the ball, and a real roar from the home crowd. Of course, he's been out for so long, talk that he might not even be playing again, such was the injury he had, and they're really pleased to see him back.
That was a wonderful kick and a great chase led by Danny Tickle. This is Vainikolo. There is Radlinski, 14 matches out. He fractured his wrist, and then it gained a couple of problems in the healing. There was a big threat to his career, but thankfully for Wigan and indeed for Great Britain, he's back. This is a good bit of defensive work here by Wigan, with Bradford in their own quarter. Anderson trying to get them out. That's the last tackle.
Excellent defence, really. You could force the opposition in their own quarter. They put the pressure on him. Deacon's crafty.
Oh, and he's got away from them. 2 tackles missed. That was forward.
Well, he bombed it. He should have passed that ball a lot quicker there, Deacon. Did everything right. And he just threw a little dummy. He knows he's taken the wrong option. It should have gone earlier. As soon as he got there, you see how he just threw that dummy, delayed it. And Vainikolo, and that's the reason why they bring it back. And Wigan are now in possession. They've had to let off twice. It was a clear run there from Vainikolo.
Okay, good, Mike.
Terry Newton, dummy half. Mick Cassidy taking them on. Anderson got to him, but he still got the ball away to Farrell. And Farrell tries to straighten it up and go round Peacock. He's halted by the challenge from Anderson. Terry Newton now attacking from dummy half. Not the best. In fact, as he slipped, he passed that and it bounced off the ankles of Robinson.
Well, again, we've seen over this bank holiday weekend quite a lot of the players sliding away. They've gone through the option, as I mentioned on Friday night, Eddie, is that because it's been so hot, the grounds have been hard. They've become used to using the rubber soles.
Well, that's true, and this JJB Stadium is watered each and every day and mown. That's why it's in such perfect nick. And so there will be a little bit of moisture in the surface. Lowe's misses out Anderson and finds Deacon, who's looking busy early on here.
He's taking on the defence, something he hasn't done for quite some time.
Lowe's from dummy half with a chip over the top. It's a great chip as well. Radlinski's after it and claims it, and Radlinski skips away from 2. Peacock with the tackle. Quick play the ball. Dallas.
That's the reason why a lot of people think he's the best in the world, Chris Radlinski. His positional sense there, but yet again, quick thinking from the hooker, James Lowe's.
Dallas, one of the smallest men on the field, and he was tackled there by 2 giants, Vanganar and Anderson. Here's Luke Robinson now, going down the short side with Tickle. It goes further wide to Carney. It's not Carney, he's outside him. It was Carney on the run there and tackled by Vainikolo. Comes wide here to Tickle, a stab to the in-goal area. Tidied up by Reardon.
Wonderful run by the fullback.
And it's getting better and better, the run. Reardon on the way. Great tackle, Radlinski.
Couldn't get any support there. Scott Naylor was struggling to try to keep up with the fullback. But Bradford, they're spinning it wide at every opportunity.
Brian Noble, the Bradford coach. The game plan obviously is to try and run Wigan off their feet here. This is Peacock.
Well, they've got such a big and powerful back of the Bulls that nearly all opposition feel that they'll just go with the big boys early in the game, but Bradford is swinging it out wide.
Lowe's again. Vanganar taking on Pongia. And still going, Vanganar. Eventually he's pulled to ground on the last. Lowe's is waiting there. They come down the short with Price. That was straight into the face of the Wigan man. It's found touch. I think it was Craig Smith. It was who got it right, fair and square in the face.
Big problem for Price as well, and I don't think it's a sternum problem this time. I think it may be his leg. It's a brave effort from Price. There he goes. Ball played the man, no doubt about it. Craig Smith right in the mush. And this should be head and feet for the Wigan Warriors.
And it is. The referee has held the clock up because there are 3 down there, as you can see. Smith was one of them, Cassidy was another, and Price is the other. And Leon Price doesn't look well.
Well, now the big fella Craig Smith realises what it's like to head a ball, a bit like
Yes,
Ryan Giggs.
Giggsy and company out there. Hodgson saw a little gap.
Good work from Reardon though. Quick to go outside, make sure that he didn't take a dummy. Big hit there from Anderson.
Gardner had Tickle and Anderson finished him off. Here goes Pongia. Good tackle by Lowe's on the halfway line, Wigan. It's building this, it's bubbling. And here's Radlinski. Got away from Naylor, couldn't get away from Leon Price.
Once again, Mike Gregory, new Wigan coach, is utilising Andy Farrell down the middle.
Here's Farrell this time. Down the touchline. It's a job for Reardon, and he does it. Newton completes the tackle.
Big hit then from Brett Dallas. And there's a problem, I feel, for the full-back. Stuart Reardon is in a lot of trouble after this impact. They're feeling the pace, both sides.
Vinacolo to Harpy.
Oh, it's high!
Aspinwall was high into the face of Shontaine Harpy.
No doubt about it. Made no attempt to get across the chest. Went straight into the face. New Zealander Harpy. And that's silly play. Rightly so, the official going to bring him up and say, just keep them down, son. Mike Gregory will not be impressed with this. They had Bradford in their own quarter, applying the pressure, and now it's been released. Lack of concentration can cost you so much.
Bradford then will restart here, 10 metres inside the Wigan half with Vanganar. He's put Tickle on his back, and in the end he is brought to ground by Sean O'Loughlin. Lowe's to Harpy again. That's a better tackle by Aspinwall. Lowe's spinning it to Deacon. Deacon looks for Anderson, who's on the charge. Well, Tickle did well. He hard stopped him, and he was eventually finished by Pongia. Down the short side they go. Harpy again. Good tackle by Aspinwall this time on the Kiwi. Lowe's tried to get the kick in, and that's good work. Terrific work by Danny Tickle.
Sure was. It was a good option by the hooker, James Lowe's. Again, we see Bradford utilising the short blind side, and then he put the power on the Tickle. Very quick indeed.
Carney almost through. A very good and important tackle by Mike Forshaw. Cassidy, Radlinski, Farrell, and Farrell weaving his way through the defensive line. Supporters arrive from Craig Smith, and he bumps his way over the top of Reardon. Not tackled, now he is.
Wonderful play, sweep the ball back on the inside to the skipper Andrew Farrell. Yet again working down the middle, and he's becoming very effective.
Robinson with the break. Halted by Anderson on the last here, Wigan. Newton, kick over the top. This should be by Konas. Oh, he's dropped it off his head. Fry, is it? He's gone to the screen, has
He's just checking Tabita by corner.
Steve Ganson. But Terry Newton thinks he has scored, but was by Kona taken out in the air.
And also worthy onside from the kick. Little dink over the top, it looks okay from Newton. Now he's the man that kicks it. Now if he runs through and gets the ball, then he's put all his players onside. But he's back at the moment. He's taken out, this will be no try.
I think Hodgson did take him out.
Yeah.
He didn't compete for the ball, did he?
No, he didn't.
He's looking at the man.
And this will be no try. I'll be very surprised if the video referee gives this. The rules state quite clearly, Nice effort from Newton. It was from his kick. And Hodgson has gone for the man. Deserved a try. Good option from the hooker. Two of the greatest in the game opposite themselves tonight in Lowe's and Newton. But the celebrations, I feel, will be wiped out. This will be no try.
Well, Jerry Kershaw is the video referee tonight. Let's see what he has made of all of that. And the try is denied. He was tackled in the air by David Hodgson, and I think he got it absolutely right, Jerry Kershaw.
No doubt about it. Put the pressure on Vicona, and you see that he doesn't make any attempt to go to the football.
See, if he would have been looking at the ball,
he'd have been okay.
Would have been okay.
But you could see him hesitate and make sure that he was going to hit the man. He's got to be onto the ground after receiving the football before he can make the tackle.
Clarkie, this is, well, they've sat back, these two, and watched us on Sky Sports have two fantastic matches, and they are living up to all pre-match billing.
There's no doubt, Eddie, that both coaches have managed to lift their sides for this game, and the tremendous pace with which it's begun just here pitch side. It really has been a fast opening. I think it's worth paying credit to Craig Smith and Quentin Ponga. When Reardon made a break just a few minutes ago, they were the first two Wigan players back on side in the defensive line. Massive effort from him. Craig Smith, if you listen to a lot of the Wigan fans, has been the most impressive player over the last month or so. He's been huge for them. He's looking for another big game tonight. Another player just to keep your eye on is Martin Aspinwall, playing in the right centre for Wigan. Big job to contain Harpy all night.
Yes, it is a big job, and that's a great offload by Mike Forshaw. He finds Deacon, and here is Reardon. And Reardon is really getting involved in the attacking movements tonight. 3 penalties already for Bradford. Here is Anderson. Gary Connolly, once of Wigan, now of Leeds, will tell you how difficult it is to stop. This is Deacon. Here is Peacock. That was Robinson with the tackle.
Beautiful tackle from the little halfback.
Here's Harpy now. Offloads to Vinacolo. That's good strength from Carney. He's about half the size of Vinacolo, but he managed to get him down then. Here's Deacon. Now it's Vanganar. Straight and hard. Oof. Offloads to Price. And picked up by Hodgson. Play on. Hodgson.
Oh, what a tackle. And he's pinched the ball as Reardon appealed.
He has.
Play on. Wonderful effort there from the fullback. Oh, it's all action. Wonderful stuff here. Watch this, bang, come to daddy and I'm taking it.
That's why Bradford are here inside the Wigan 20-metre zone. 2 tackles gone, Lowe's down the short side. Vicona. Dallas and Farrell doing a good job in stopping him. But Bradford, how long can Wigan keep them out? Price. Deacon floated it wide to Vinacolo. Vinacolo on the charge. Turns the ball back inside, it's play on. Harpy gets the ball down.
I don't think he does. I think he gets the ball down onto Carney's leg.
Don't think he's got it down, just check. See if there's a knock on the grounding of the ball.
He'll go to the screen on this one.
Yes, he has.
There's all sorts of problems happening. Was the tackle complete in the first place? Vinacolo was running through, they'd done the switch. They shoved out Shontaine Harpy onto the wing. Now then, this is the interesting thing. Has his progress been stopped and the ball carrying arm has hit the deck? If that is the case, it'll be a penalty.
No, he gets it away.
50-50, isn't it? Got to make the decision. Now then, does he get it down? They go for it. Robinson goes underneath. Redlinski's there. Carney's there. Now, does it get it down or does it hit Carney's legs? I think he puts it on his legs. He does. This will be no try.
That's unbelievable.
That is an incredible situation.
Carney knew nothing about it, and Shontaine Harpy knew nothing about that. Oh, unreal. Well, hey, you did, didn't you? You saw it.
Well, he's got the nicest legs in rugby league, hasn't he?
So is that what you're looking at?
Yeah.
No try, says Jerry Kershaw. 20-metre restart. That's 1 each denied by Jerry Kershaw, and both of them rightly so. 15 minutes. It's flown by. This looks like being one of those nights at Wigan.
Certainly does. And you looked at me rather ruefully there, Eddie. Don't you think they're the best legs in rugby league?
I'm just a little bit concerned about your eyesight, or I was until that moment. Here is Carney. Try-saver a few moments ago. Newton. Little Luke Robinson. Kick over the top. One for Radlinski to chase. Radlinski's after this. Vicona with work to do. Oh, and he does it too. He gets it away to Reardon. What a chase from Radlinski, though.
And what a great combination. This is teamwork personified. Reardon got back. Didn't expect the pass, to be fair, but at least he made himself available.
Anderson, good ball, quick it was.
Third.
He's taking a knock as well, Anderson. This is one tough game. The speed is absolutely wonderful.
This is Scott Naylor now. Naylor, who began his career here with Wigan way back in 1990-91. Goes back to Deacon from the play the ball. Big kick downfield from him. But this will find its way to Dallas. And Brett Dallas will now begin the counter-attack.
Oh boy, they're not missing.
Here's Hodgson.
Went a high
Don't
shot.
make any contact round his head. Don't make contact.
Jansen not too happy with the attempted tackle by Leon Price. Well, I've seen many a facial just been pushed to one side. That's all it was. It wasn't as though he was swinging arm or gave him a knuckle sandwich. I wonder, he looked a little bit concerned, Leon Price. I don't think he should have been penalised.
O'Connor's on, as you can see, for Craig Smith.
Shantain.
Robbie Paul in the stands watching here, as well as the Manchester United contingent. Here is O'Connor. Wonder how Ryan Giggs, Nicky Butt and company, Roy Keane would fancy having a go at this, Steve-o, this game.
Well, I would have loved to see Roy Keane playing. He's certainly got the attitude, hasn't he?
Come on.
There he is.
Little half break here. It's Danny Tickle, Deacon all over him. Newton with a dab to the in-goal area. Well picked up on his own line there by Gardner.
Yeah, but none of the Wigan players, apart from one, realised what was going to happen. Cannot believe that there should have been more alert than that. And what a game this fella's having.
Second advantage.
Newton puts the kick in. There's only O'Connor there. Everyone else says, what's happening?
Third.
They've got to be quicker than that.
Square.
Here's Harpy again. To halfway for Bradford. It's a remarkably clean game around the play the balls.
But it's bruising.
Oh, it is. Deacon, kick over the top. Nobody really chasing this. Field in his mind. Carney is faced by Gardner, Fielden and Harpy. O'Loughlin was the dummy half. Here is Aspinwall.
There's virtually been no clean break. It's always half breaks. The defence from both sides getting back. The energy levels out there.
Oh, it's a wonderful game, Phil.
It is. The one thing that's been obvious to me in the opening quarter is Bradford's willingness to attack down their left-hand side. They've certainly tried to take it out of Robinson, who defends on that side, use up some of his energy, and also testing Aspinwall. Carney, all of the kicks going down his side of the field. They clearly want to starve possession from Brett Dallas, although they'll have a job now because Wigan receive another penalty. It's the best I've seen Wigan play for a long time. They've changed the point of attack. They've got several different players playing key roles rather than just relying on one or two players. And get Terry Newton running out of dummy half with some supporting players, and they do look a very dangerous outfit.
Danny Sculthorpe getting the penalty there, talking to him just before the match. I said, well, you're the one, Sculthorpe, at the moment playing in Super League. I said, but I bet Paul is back for the Saints game when we're going to there in a couple of weeks' time. He said, I hope so. Terry Newton. Here's Danny Sculthorpe. Oh, that looked high from Lowe's.
Keep your eye on Andy Farrell.
It's Newton. And Newton with the strength. Can't get the ball down. Taking three to push him back. Sean O'Loughlin. Here's Luke Robinson. Now it's with Farrell. Farrell finds Cassidy. Cassidy still going. Price. And Peacock to bring him down. Radlinski slides the kick in, bouncing everywhere. Just too deep. Deacon wants to get on with it. Deacon wants to get on with a quick tap. He can now. Here is Vinacolo taking on Hodgson. Cassidy coming in with a bit of support.
I think Terry Newton, the Wigan player, is way back behind. You can see him there to your left. Got a little bit of knock on the throat, I felt, when he was chasing that kick into the in-goal area.
Farrell and Fielden having a right go at each other. As he got to his feet, there is Terry Newton just having a bit of running repairs. Teacock halted by O'Connor. Tickle is there as well. Down he goes.
It's amazing how both sets of forwards, they're driving him forward, but they're not trying to spin in the tackle or offload. That's how tight this game is. Tight as a drum.
Parker plays the ball to Lowe's. They've come the short way again. Oh, and that bounced off the back of Scott Naylor. I think Lowe's intended him to be the dummy runner.
Well,
A bit of frustration for Brian Noble.
Lowesy wanted Naylor to go on that short break, but Naylor thought that he was the dummy runner. He thought the ball was going behind him to Vita Vicona, and that's a big error. And there's the coach, Brian Noble, perhaps thinking that with all the opportunities and all the positional play they've had in the Wigan quarter, still haven't come up with the goods.
No, 0-0, 22 minutes on the clock. Oh, and O'Loughlin was nearly through.
Second.
You get the feeling something's got to give some time here. Harpy on Aspinwall.
It might be somebody's ribs, the way they're tackling out there.
O'Connor. Terry O'Connor still going. Eventually put to ground. Newton. Robinson. Farrell on the diagonal run.
Great defence yet again, Forshaw going low. Amazing, you know, with this Terry O'Connor. They just seem to put a new battery in, don't they? And he just keeps going forward.
Great kick that. Oh, that's been dropped. And Dallas will score. There's nothing wrong with this one. Well, the referee will give Jerry Kershaw the final decision. There's no knock on. It came off his legs.
But
I think he's got this.
Big question is, does he take the man out? Robinson gets the kick.
What a
high.
kick.
Yeah. He went late for him. No real maliciousness there. So
No problem with the onside.
He's onside. He's going for the football. And it gets his leg. You're right, Eddie. It's TRY time.
Dallas.
Wants to see if he's touched it at all, but it isn't. It's Vicona that gets the touch to the ball. And then it goes onto the leg of Dallas. That's what he wants to see, whether the Wigan player has touched it at all. And he misses it.
They all miss it.
That's TRY time for mine. And I'm sure the video ref will agree. Well, it took a fluke to get the scoreboard working. No doubt about the grounding. Dallas has owned the account.
I think he has, the Australian. He's played in 12 of 27 so far for Wigan this year. And he scored the first try of this match. Tries in 2 of Wigan's last 3. And he's come up with the first try tonight that breaks the deadlock. Brett Dallas with the score.
And not surprising, because both sides' defence are pretty solid. You've got to go to the option of the high kick, and he was a beauty from Robinson. Good work from Dallas. Didn't take the man out, made sure that he had the eyes on the football. That's the reason why the Newton try was turned down by the video referee. Not on this occasion, though.
Brett Dallas with the try. His 80th appearance in the last home game. This then is his 81st. That was his 56th Wigan try. What a strike rate that is. Talking of strike rates, here's Andrew Farrell. 3 goals and then he left the field injured against Leeds last week. Left-footed and he has missed. 4-0 though, Wigan ahead at the JJB Stadium.
Looks like Wigan in a little bit of trouble. There's the try scorer, but it appears that Danny Sculthorpe's had to leave and go into the dressing room, Eddie.
He has. Let's get news of him from Bill.
That's right, Eddie. While all that was going on, Sculthorpe was having treatment for a rib injury. He wanted to stay on, and there was a lot of talk between the physios and the bench, and in the end, they persuaded Sculthorpe to leave the field. So I think you might have jinxed him, Eddie. Talk of the meeting with Saints in a couple of weeks' time.
Yes, maybe so. Well, Steve-O did say, didn't he, that Sai said something had to give, and he said it might be the ribs of somebody, and maybe Danny Sculthorpe has caught one. So we've both got him.
I knew I'd get some blame.
Absolutely. It's a collective, Steve-O, collective blame here.
As in Royal.
Indeed. It has never changed in 13 years. It's not going to change now. Here's Gareth Hoff.
Wish I could say the same for your hairstyle.
That's changed a few times, unlike yours. Smith. Well, Wigan getting through their changes, aren't they? Oh, that's a loose pass. It's gobbled up. Gobbled up by Deacon.
Oh, silly play by Smith there.
Bradford. Parker, beg your pardon.
We're just getting the upper hand where there's Wigan outfit in that defence there, and then they just frittered away the opposition. The possession, should I say.
Lowe's. Here is Fielder.
They're
nearly through one.
Wigan's defence is not as solid in going forward at the moment.
It's Deacon. In now Price. And here's Naylor. And on it goes again to Deacon. Just lost the momentum there. That's the last. Lowe's. Where's the kick? There it is. An invitation for Gardner. I think they didn't get to it, Gardner. The referee, wisely though, will take a look.
Great little dink through yet again. Jimmy Lowe's so important. That onside, that's okay. Gardner dives through. If there's any problem with the offside, they're okay, all of them. Gardner's the one nearest to the man who's kicked the football. I think he gets a fingertip to it and just can't force it down. Oh no! It's a boot! Aspinwall has come in and got the boot there. And I don't think he realised that. Thought, well, I better just lunge it out just in case. This will be a dropout from underneath the sticks. Bradford are going back and anticipating that. They're also looking at what you're seeing. It's no try, that's for sure. Aspinwall has come to the rescue.
Goal line dropout. Spot on again. It was the boot of Aspinwall that knocked it dead. And Brian Noble's going through his 14th packet of Chewy. The tension here at the JJB Stadium tonight. They lost here 4 times this year of Wigan. They lost 4 at home in 2002. London, Leeds, Bradford and Widnes have won this year. Yes, Bradford have already won on this ground. They're battling now to avoid losing 5 home games for the first time in the Super League era. This is a massive challenge to them tonight from Bradford, and here is Vainicolo. He's away from 2, he's away from 3. Good job that Johnson was there.
No one going low, and that's the only way you're going to pull the big fella down, is the legs.
This is Leon Price, now it's with Jamie Peacock. Price again. Lowe's, Deacon. And Deacon just drops the shoulder, and Johnson gets the tackle in. Lowe's again. Good ball, Forshaw through 1. Couldn't get the ball away. That's the last. Can Wigan's defensive line stand firm again? Lowe's, a dab through, looking for Naylor. They're going to get 6 more. They're going to get 6 more.
He's running riot, creating all sorts of problems. It's Jimmy Lowe's yet again. He's the master of the little dink through with the boot.
Well, Ratlinski.
Busy time for him as well.
And glad to be back, I'll tell you. He injured his neck in the Cup semi-final against the Bulls. And you know, his last appearance here was against the Bulls way back in May. He's been a long time out. We had him on boots and all during his injury. He was depressed, but he'll be happy now that he's back. Is this a grand final dress rehearsal. Well, the grand final this year is on October the 18th, and any information you want, they're open for business tomorrow after the bank holiday. 0113-232-9111. The same number for any news and information you need about the Ashes series between Great Britain and Australia. And of course, Chris Radlinski would probably be first choice at fullback for Great Britain in that match. Injury-free, of course.
Not surprisingly, every time Leon Price gets the football, no one wants to go for the legs. They want to get straight into that chest. He must be going through a lot of pain, Leon Price. It's a brave effort, and he'll have that injury and problem all the way through the end of the season.
Vainikolo, at time Aspinwall was low. Quick play the ball. Lowe's running flat. Here is Deacon. There's the kick, and this time it's too deep. Wigan's defence magnificently survives.
Not happy. Knows it was a little bit too strong.
3 sets of 6 in a row, and Wigan stand firm.
Leave it to me.
Well, to be fair, this Bradford outfit without Paul Deacon, the kicking game, certainly went astray. Brian Noble would have been very, very pleased indeed that he could get him out there. But not happy on that occasion.
He missed the whole game last week. It ended a 39-game sequence. He only needs 2 goals, by the way, for 400 goals for Bradford. Will he get the chance tonight? Hodgson. Newton to Luke Robinson. Kick over the top, and that will find touch.
Kicking early. Neat tactic. Turn them around. Mike Gregory would have been happy with that.
Filling the considerable void left in this Wigan side by Adrian Lamb, young Luke Robinson.
So confident though, isn't he?
Well, remember what he was like at Knowsley Road earlier in the season when he scored that hat-trick in June. An effervescent little talent.
Well,
and there's plenty of them, by the way, around in Super League at the moment.
Certainly is. It's a great battle already between him and Paul Deacon. Typical little halfback though, he's got a cheeky face, plays that way.
There's some wonderful talent around, Phil, isn't there? And we've got plenty on show here tonight.
Yeah, this is the sort of calibre of game you'd expect when you talk about whether these teams will make it to the grand final. It's the standard of rugby that will be needed to get there to Old Trafford in October, really. The prize that everybody wants there, all the players thinking of that way, but I think the approach that both of these sides are taking, it's one game at a time. They're not trying to look too far ahead. There's been some real quality on show, but it's the strength and power. Basically, you're playing against a sledgehammer approach when you play the Bradford side. You've got to be very, very strong and aggressive, as Johnson's been in that tackle on field, and to withstand what they throw at you. I think Bradford are going to win another penalty here. And Wigan, having had a high, lazy tackle there now from Johnson, he's got his feet too far away from the man. See his footwork's wrong, he throws the right arm, and that's why he will be penalised. Just having defended their own line for a couple of minutes, this will make life even harder now for Wigan.
Well, Fielden somehow keeping the lid on his temper there.
Well, his teammates were quick to just calm him down, but this is good refereeing by Steve Ganson.
On the top, mate. Not careless.
Running through the veins is aggression.
Okay.
He's a player.
Stuart
Fielden that runs very upright. It's a tempting target, and I must say, over the years since this youngster burst onto the big scene, that's not the first big hit that he's taken.
Okay.
So here come Bradford again. There's been pressure on this Wigan line for much of this first half. That's a good ball wide by Nicolo.
Good move to bring that. Vainikolo comes in from the wing and they shove out Shontaine Happy. They know he's got the strength.
Oh, they went for the interception then. Robinson, he's given it to Price. This is Peacock. Peacock! He's over, is he?
No,
he falls back. Hodgson had hold of him.
And did he lose it? No, said the touch judge. Wigan are saying you're kidding. Well, they're telling Hodgson to release the ball.
This is Vicona. Vicona running back. Oh, and they've lost the momentum here. Was that a knock-on?
Well, he lost it, but he went backwards, so that's okay. It's all action here.
Bradford. Good job that Robinson had hold of his legs. This is the last tackle. Lowe's dabs it to space. Radlinski tidies up for Wigan.
Has been around too long. to be caught out on that. But how close was this to scoring the try? Oh, that's high. That's silly play from Jimmy. He looks all the world. Peacock there. Radlinski throws an arm.
How on earth was that stopped? How on earth did Peacock keep the ball in his hands? Lowe's has been penalised here for a high shot.
It is boiling. Bang.
You're the captain, but also the instigator with the eye tackle. Penalties against you.
Silly
One each way.
play.
Sort it out.
It's getting to them, you know. The tension.
Get them down.
They so want to appear in that grand final. They know it's the Mecca. It's the top.
Yes, there are stars in the ground tonight from Old Trafford, and these stars want to light up the Theatre of Dreams on October the 18th. Biggest night of the Rugby League year now, by some measure, by the way. It is the biggest prize. It's the one they all want.
Some of this defence has been nothing short of cruel.
This is Gareth Hock. Hodgson, nowhere to go. Price was there.
Second, there we
Nearly
are.
took
Danny
him off.
Scunthorpe knew Steve-O. Bill.
Eddie, I think you've hexed him. He's apparently on his way to hospital for an X-ray on a cracked rib, by the sound of things. He really doesn't have the best fortune, Danny Scunthorpe, and he could be certainly not going to be back tonight anyway.
Come on, Jim.
That's dreadful news. That was marginal, the pass from Newton to Craig Smith. Oh, didn't he get away brilliantly then? And over the top it goes via Robinson to Aspinwall.
Good opportunity, he knew what he wanted to do. Robinson took the gamble.
Here goes Terry Newton. Now it's with Farrell.
So important, the two hookers for either side. Newton, James Lowe's, they're controlling things out there.
That'll run dead.
You won't be happy with that one. Neither will his coach.
All behind.
But I love to see the battle between Jimmy Lowe's and this fella, Terry Newton.
Well, there are battles all over this field tonight. Not just that one.
And I know he keeps saying it. There's Jimmy Lowe's. This is the last, he says. This is the last.
Oh, it is.
You never know.
He's had enough.
You never know. He may get the glory at the grand final and think to himself, maybe just one more. I'm sure that Brian Noble would like him.
I'm sure he would, but he's said at 33 he's had enough. This is his 199th appearance in Super League tonight, and all of them, by the way, with Bradford. He's been a wonderful servant for them, and Brian Noble knows how important he is to this side. And the search for the replacement will be interesting. Deacon, kick to the corner. That's too deep, though. It's Dallas is all the way, this. And Brett Dallas sees a gap.
Oh!
Fielding got to him.
Did he ever?
Nothing wrong with that, he says.
Well, it wasn't. It was just a great tackle. Just a big bump. Got the shoulder into him. Dallas, the winger, would have felt it. Meanwhile, the game goes on. The speed at this play of the ball.
Oh, it's a rip-roaring match again.
We've been saying it all through the season, Eddie. The sooner they get it cleared up at the play of the ball area, the players roll away. We'll get a better game, and we have.
Yes, we have. Gradually and increasingly over the past couple of weeks, we've had some smashing matches. And this is another. The chase from Wigan was enthusiastic.
And you've got to pat the back. Stuart Cummings, he's turned it around. He's made sure that the officials and the players realise they don't want to mess around anymore.
Harpy away from O'Connor. This is Vicona. Vicona saw the gap, tried to get through it. Hodgson was there, and so too was Gareth Hock. Peacock.
Well, we've seen real power, raw power from both sides in this first half.
Last one here for Bradford. That's why Price puts the kick in. This is Radlinski's. Now it's Dallas. Now it's Carney.
Good work from Deacon there. Enthusiasm on both sides. This is an amazing game.
Second, Jim.
8 wins in a row behind them. Bradford coming into this match at the JJB Stadium since that 35-0 shocker against St Helens in June at Odsal. Farrell, tackled by Peacock. Those two are almost certainties to be in the red, white and blue for Great Britain in the Ashes. Johnson. Little Robinson again, crossfield kick. It's to Radlinski! Try for the Wigan fullback on his comeback. I don't think he needs to refer this on. The try is given.
And that is no fluke. That is one set pattern. And he knows it, Brian Noble. And so does the fullback. He knew exactly what Luke Robinson was going to do with that football. Took it tight on the blind side. Tipped it back in field. Even had time to stop. Pick up the ball and get the fourth.
That is his first try, remarkably, in Super League this year, and it's come on his comeback match. A mile onside.
But the kick through, look at the defence. They were all at sea. They didn't anticipate it. The pace of this game, not surprisingly, quite a few of the players, I'll say I'll take a bit of a rest when I can. Trouble is, this little fella Luke Robinson says, "Are you there, Chris? Hello? Hello?" He sure is. That is get connected in a big way. Super stuff.
First try of the season to Radlinski. 27 times it crossed the whitewash 2 years ago. Bang in front of the sticks. Andrew Farrell to add the extras. And Wigan have a 10-point advantage. The try scored by Radlinski, created though by a little 19-year-old genius, Luke Robinson. What a crossfield kick.
And look at the defence. They didn't anticipate it. Look at the position that Chris Radlinski was in. He had time to lean back, take the ball. That is brilliance. We said he was a cocky type of player, Luke Robinson, full of confidence, and he knew exactly what was happening to Radlinski.
Fantastic kick from Robinson. Wonderful vision from Radlinski. Those fellas would have enjoyed that. The Manchester United contingent. Maurice Lindsay might have done as well, and David Whelan.
Second!
A defence-splitting kick from Robinson. Worthy of Old Trafford itself.
Certainly would, and there's a big name to carry on. There was a certain Robinson played for Wigan, and he was a great player, still is. In the wrong code, of course, but this guy is going to be big time, Luke Robinson.
There he is, Luke Robinson, 19 years of age. Remarkably, I think I'm right in saying he was omitted from the England A squad. Everybody's scratching their heads about that. Maybe Luke Robinson is destined for bigger things with Great Britain, who knows? But right on the bell of the first half, Wigan have turned the screw against the Bradford Bulls. They lead here by 10 points to 0. Tries from Dallas and Radlinski. Farrell's one goal. 10-0 at half-time.
Come even better spectacle for the fans and the viewers.
And the little glimpse we had there of Luke Robinson, what a talent he is. We talk about Maguire at Leeds. We've got plenty of other great young players. Rob Burrow at Leeds, Richard Horne at the Hull. There's some cracking youngsters coming through at St Helens as well, and well, Luke Robinson and Sean O'Loughlin and Martin Aspinwall. The game's in great shape, Steve-O.
It certainly is.
I don't know why people think it isn't.
And I know I don't want to bore everybody by the situation, but you know, when they first mooted the fact to get the academy to give these young kids connected to the professional clubs, they said it wouldn't work. It certainly has.
And of course Mike Gregory, the Wigan coach, knows all about the youngsters because he coached the England academy, didn't he? Who beat the Australians for the first time ever in a test series the back end of last year. Not only just in a test, but they actually won the series, the England youngsters. Robinson, he should be in the England A squad at least, but as I said just as they went off at half-time, I wonder if there are even greener pastures. I wonder whether David Waite will take the gamble and throw him in with Maguire into the test series. We shall see. Peacock grounded 10 metres inside his own half. Vicona. I'll tell you something else, Steve-O. If Wigan continue to perform like this under Mike Gregory, how could they possibly look anywhere else for a coach?
7 coaches in 8 years.
I understand that, but Mike Gregory has come through the system. Bit of stability. That's what Bradford have, and that's why they are such a great side as well, with people like Brian Noble, Matthew Elliott and Brian Smith. Only 3 for them in the Super League era. They've got to give Gregory a chance if they continue coasting along like this.
Well, I hope they do.
There's work to do here. Radlinski. Oh, dragged over his own try line. He was brave to pick the ball up in the first place, and then he just got collared.
Great work there. Lee Gilmore got to him first of all. Made sure that there's momentum within the tackle all the time. If it had just kept him for a brief second.
Bill, half-time news, what is it?
Mike Gregory, anticipating this Bradford Bulls onslaught, has asked his guys to number up really at this phase of the game, because he knew that the Bulls would come back at them, and really we're going to see a great test of Wigan's defence here. They're going to have to do it without Danny Sculthorpe. Cracked ribs confirmed from the Wigan dressing room. Bradford coach Brian Noble not dissatisfied with that first 40 minutes, just 1 or 2 areas of fine-tuning that maybe we'll see his side home, and patience is going to be the key. They're going to have their moments, they've got to be composed, ready to take those chances.
And it's Fielden leading the charge. Good tackle low down then by Johnson. And this now was a drive in by Radford. The ball comes to Deacon. It's popped back to Gilmore.
Great tackle by Newton. Knew that the sub was coming back on the angle.
Lowe's is after the kick into the in goal. Oh, and Aspinwall is hurt.
Put his body on the line there, but yet again, this tactic. A little dink through from Jimmy Lowe's, the Bulls hooker. Luckily for Wigan's concerned that they're pretty quick to anticipate it. But it's like a toothache, isn't it? Just keeps nagging away at you. And I suppose eventually Jimmy Lowe's and Brian Noble will think, well, maybe the bad tooth will be extracted.
They're desperate, winded by that challenge in his back from Bradford.
They're desperate to score a point, Eddie, Bradford. Just build their confidence.
4 times Wigan have had to drop out from under their own sticks. Here is Vinacolo. He's brushed away from Carney. Oh, that went forward.
Yeah, it's been picked up by the touch.
That was wonderful defence from Brian Carney. He was beaten 3 times and he stuck to it.
Even first you don't succeed, then try again.
And Vinacolo's in a bit of trouble here.
That's his second goal, that's his third, and then he got to him eventually. Well, they were queuing
He's
up.
finished. The sign has gone out from the physio to the side that Vinacolo's finished. It's a hamstring.
Watch him just push on this last effort there. Really should have offloaded perhaps in this position. You can see there that just regained his balance, then he wanted to have a look. And by the time it got there, no way that Chantain Harpy could get anywhere near the football. It did go forward.
Well, remarkably, Leslie Vinacolo is still on the field.
He won't be for long.
This is Robinson.
Well, it's a big gamble by Brian Noble. He's still keeping the big fella out there.
This is O'Connor. Well, if they attack down this right wing, they've got a few problems, Bradford. Johnson to drive it in.
Surely they'll take the short blind side.
Here they come.
They have.
With a Lachlan. Kick over the top. Harpy is the man who collects it. Good tackle by Newton. And he's off the field now by Nicolo.
He's going to take something special from this Bradford outfit. Keep making the point about Jimmy Lowe's. He's the provider and can get it. Leon Price, Paul Deacon, we know their capabilities. But this Wigan defence is superb. They're just forcing Bradford into one-out football, and then the only option left is a kick.
That looked a little forward as well, and it was.
And they play this very flat attack, don't they? So do Wigan. Sometimes you get away with it. I suppose most coaches will say, well, there's some form of an even balance throughout the season.
That was a call from the touch judge.
Yep, and there's the problem.
Well, that's a big blow to Bradford. Leslie Binacolo. This is his 50th appearance for Bradford, and I think it's just come to a premature end.
Well, they get the ice packed on it, and they'll be trying to stretch the...
Aspinwall! Aspinwall! Oh, what's this? Oh, what's this? Aspinwall with a magnificent try. Oh, he skirted away from them. He left 3 in his wake, and then he had the strength to stretch out and touch it down. Problems for Brian Noble. No Leslie Binacolo, but Wigan have got Aspinwall. A wonder try, and another youngster.
Well, this young kid proceeds to amaze me. The move from the scrum base, they thought Radlinski was coming through, and that's the reason why they pulled him out of the line. Through the dummy. Bicona had to go out wide, he knew it. He was hoping that the sliding defence could get to him, and I'm afraid that Reardon couldn't. He arrived far too late, but watch Radlinski come through. Bang! Radlinski, they hesitate. Forshaw was lost, so was Naylor. Couldn't stop him. Wonderful, wonderful try. Set pattern move. Dummy back on the inside. You thought it was Radlinski. It was this kid. Look at the step in and out that he went round Naylor. Sheer world class. Not bad.
Fantastic. Martin Aspinwall, sin bin last week at Leeds. That was his 40th appearance. He has made the step this year, as so many of them have had to. Under Stuart Raper earlier this year, there were dreadful injury problems. This fellow was out for weeks. But Wigan have come back stronger and leaner. Farrell has missed another conversion attempt. It's 14-0.
Look at that, you can see Radlinski's coming through. It makes the loose forward Mike Forshaw just hesitate. It was sufficient, and the speed of that step, the little in and out there from the centre, Martin Aspinwall, left Scott Naylor just grasping for air. Wow.
What a fabulous try. Well, Robinson twinkled in the first half with that kick, and Aspinwall has just, well, not exactly trumped him, but has done something equally as good. And Binacolo, bad news for Bradford balls. Ice on the thigh. Farrell gets the ball away, here they come again. Hock, Gareth Hock. Newton, Radlinski. On the charge was Johnson, who was well tackled by Deacon and Forshaw. Over halfway Wigan go with Robinson. A kick over the top, one for everyone to chase. Radlinski's eager. Radlinski's after this. Oh! Just hit the corner flag. The Wigan fans celebrate a try. It hit the corner flag, folks.
That'll be a tap on the 20. They only just did there. He took a huge gamble, didn't you, Reardon?
Corner flag is out in this game.
Would have been interesting if it had just bobbled back on the inside into the in-goal area. We saw a quick shot of Mike Gregory there. Must feel very proud indeed.
Well, the point I was making at the start of the match, that was forward again.
Lack of understanding there. They don't need it. When you're in your own quarter, you don't start doing little jinks back on the inside.
Point I was making the start of the half, Steve-O. Wigan are desperate for a bit of stability now. Brian Noble has been promoted from within at Bradford, as was Matthew Elliott, promoted from within at Bradford. Here's a glorious opportunity for Wigan to promote from within in the shape of Mike Gregory and give him the opportunity.
Well, I hope they do.
He served his apprenticeship. He deserves the chance.
Well, he's fine-tuned it a little bit more. Okay, Stuart Raper certainly laid the foundation, especially with the fact they had no option but to bring these young kids in. There were so many injuries.
Absolutely.
in the star players, but they have stood up. They've been counted. And I'm with you.
Robinson again.
I would give him the opportunity, give him the chance. He started to make Andy Farrell work more. Well, he's got him going around the middle.
Oh, and O'Loughlin, his little dink into the in-goal area. Reardon wasn't taking any chances.
Was he held back? According to the official, Steve Ganson. Well, they're all full of confidence now. And at 14-0.
There's a bubbliness about them, isn't there? Mind you, Bradford only 14-0 down. They aren't out of this. A team of this quality.
But I've just admired the way that these young kids here at Wigan, they've just come to the fore.
Well,
remember I bought young Brown a watch?
Yes.
I wish I could afford a watch for everyone.
They've revitalised the entire town this year. Robinson. Farrell is out wide. Farrell's taking them on. Through two. Couldn't get away from Rob Parker though. Newton, dummy half. They're flooding forward. Bradlinski. Big hit by Fielden. Good defence. Newton. He's over. Has he got it down?
No. Held up.
Wigan
Head and feet to Wigan though.
Was worth the gamble, this.
Well, the wily hooker knew that perhaps if he couldn't get the ball down the went, but good work from Parker and Reardon. They did exceptionally well to hold him through. Then spin him over. But Terry Newton knows it was not on the last. So they will get possession yet again. Remember at the start of this game it was Bradford that had all the possession. Wigan were out on their feet. Bradford couldn't score.
You know what I mean?
Will Wigan rip them apart yet again? Remember, Aspinwall's try came from the set piece, from the base of the scrum. Will Andy Farrell pick this up, go one side, and the little Luke Robinson go the other? We'll have to wait and see.
Well, there's Farrell, and here is Sean O'Loughlin. Tackle low down by Reardon. Quick play the ball to Johnson. Here's Farrell. This is Carney. He's in, Carney! A planned move from the base of the scrum. Out wide it came. And the Irish international, Brian Carney, he got a try against Leeds. That was his first in 11 appearances. And that one is second in successive matches. Brought a little smile to Mike Gregory's face. Carney, Wigan lead 18-0.
And wonderful work by the skipper, Andy Farrell. Missed the man out. There's nothing they could do about it. Lee Gilmore went far too high over the top. Watch Farrell just say, there you go boys. Missed the two men out. Carney finishes off well. He's happy, and they've every right to be. And the fans here at the JJB Stadium, they are still cheering. Beautiful pass. They got caught out yet again. All that pressure, and a little smile perhaps from, or does it win? Who knows?
Well, we caught him last week at Leeds, and he was punching the air and celebrating.
And didn't he say to you, you won't get me on TV doing things like that?
He's had another go at me tonight about it as well. And he denied actually saying it, but Eduardo tells no lies. Anyway, he's obviously got his emotions under wraps tonight, but inside he'll be bursting with pride. And Farrell, another two, stroke that over. 20 points to 0. It will be a big comeback from Bradford if they can get back into this now.
The amazing thing is that all the Wigan fans right down on the in-goal area where Wigan are attacking, and it really can lift you. The noise there for the defensive side, Bradford, well, it must be heartbreaking to hear it. They've gone for the short, they know they need the possession.
And they've got it back via Price to Gilmore. It's just about went the 10 metres. And here comes Gilmore on the counter for Bradford.
Great work. Chance in their arm, they have to. They know they need to try to get back into this match very quickly indeed.
Forshaw, good offload. And here's Lowe's. He misses out Anderson and finds Peacock. Peacock offloads again to Lowe's. It goes wide to Price. Price. Reardon was running inside him. Gareth Hock got a hand on him. Deacon, Anderson.
Come here, say the two Terrys.
Lowe's waits. Bullets the pass to Deacon. Deacon, brilliant! Oh! Great tackle needed, and it was from Robinson. Penalised though. Held in second time.
Lucky not to go into the sin bin. Can't take the quick one, not until the official has blown the whistle. And there looks to be a problem with Leon Price. He's looking very uncomfortable way out on the right. He's rubbing that sternum problem.
Okay, Jimmy.
Brave effort, but it may come to the point that Brian Noble has to do something about it.
Anderson here. And it's Gareth Hock. And it's Radlinski who holds him out. Vangenaar, they can't stop him. Vangenaar with a try for Bradford. They needed a quick try in response. Vangenaar's provided it on his 90th starting appearance for the Bradford Bulls. Joe Vangenaar, the New Zealander, has scored what could be a crucial try.
The set move, Jimmy Lowe's brought to the Super League time and time again. Normally he uses this with Paul Anderson. On this occasion, this was a penalty. Lucky that Robinson didn't get to the sin bin either. It was a professional foul. Beautiful play there. And the sheer strength of this man, Joe Vangenaar, couldn't stop him. As Eddie said, too much power. They needed that. Game on.
Still there, Jerry.
Very much so. Vangenaar's try, and Deacon's about to try and improve it.
He's gone on.
This will be 20 points to 6 if he kicks it. 26 it is. Don't write the Bulls off yet. Deacon with the extras.
Well, you see Lowe's goes one way, and as soon as he sucks in, boom. As soon as it went high on the big fella, nothing that Terry Newton could do about that. And a wry grin on the face of Jimmy Lowe's and the try scorer, Vangenaar. They're back in it. They know it.
Clarkey, any fat ladies warming up on the touchline? I don't think so. She's not singing yet.
No, they've just called a taxi for her, but it's some way off just yet. You know, my memory's not that good, but I seem to think this is the best I've seen Wigan play this year. It's been a wonderful effort. Look at that. Things going for them. Do you know, the turning point in the second half for me is when Wigan had to get their second goal line dropout in a row, and Bradford failed to take it on the full, just as they've done there. You remember Vinacolo eventually lost possession on the first tackle, and it took all the pressure off the Wigan side. Going to see that again here now, with Wigan getting possession from this scrum and looking dangerous too.
Back on, boys.
Well, Wigan about to feed this scrum 10 metres out after that blunder from the kick-off by the Bradford side. When the ball bounces in the field of play and goes over the line, the kicking offside gets the head and feed, and that's what Wigan have got. They've come down the blind side with Carney. He skirted away from a couple, couldn't get away from Peacock though. Are Wigan going to immediately strike back after that try from Bradford? Newton, here's Farrell. They are! Farrell! Andy Farrell. He produced the try with the bullet pass wide a couple of minutes ago, and that is the quick riposte from the Wigan captain. Mike Gregory hasn't celebrated yet, but Andy Farrell did. He had a huge grin on his face as he went over for that try.
They work the blind side from the set pattern, from the scrum base, and then straight away from this is the kick-off that allowed Wigan to get head and ball the possession. And Farrell then, come on, we'll do it. But they've done it so well. Mike Gregory has got this Wigan side working the blind side. Normally we see it from Bradford time and time again, but it's something that Wigan have started to do effectively. Through the dummy, Lowe's went far too high. Boom, get out of the way. And Mr. Farrell would love that. He had plenty to say to Lowe's as he's walking back as well. It's hotting up.
Yes, he had a big game, didn't he, in that win, and many people called it a shock win at Odsal when Bradford were beaten. And Brian Noble knows now that having been thrown the lifeline, they haven't really got in the lifeboat yet, and Wigan are here to restore the 20-point lead if Farrell kicks this, and it's bounced out. So it's 24-6, 18 points, 3 converted tries.
Well, I've been banging on all throughout this season that I think the grand final will be played out between Leeds and Bradford. There's a man who missed the tackle on Farrell and through. I must say that this would have done justice for the grand final, Eddie.
It would, without a doubt. And don't forget, of course, the grand final in 2001 was won by Bradford. They annihilated Wigan 37 points to 6. Down to Bill. Bill?
Just more news on Leslie Vinacolo, Eddie. We saw him coming off with what looked like a hamstring injury, and confirmation from the Bulls bench that he'd had a pain in the hamstring. I'm not sure how severe it is or whether he'll be able to return. It doesn't look like it. I tell you what, Jimmy Lowes is having a great battle, a personal battle with the Wigan crowd here. They are giving him some stick, and he, in a very good-natured and subtle way, is giving them stick back. It's a good sideshow to a great contest.
I bet it is. The thing that has impressed us over this bank holiday weekend, there's another little cheeky kick from Robinson. Reardon, oh, Reardon! He nearly lost it then, and they're asking for the knock-on, but the decision doesn't come.
He was in a good position, Steve Ganson, there.
So was his touch judge. I was going to make the point, Steve, that the matches over this bank holiday weekend, so much riding on them, but such wonderful spirit they've been played in. All right, a bit of knuckles on Saturday night, but that was Wigan and Widnes, Warrington and Widnes. You'd expect that.
Well, Ganson got it right. As I say, he was in a good position. It was missed by Reardon there. Well, I must say, Stuart Reardon's had a fine match. He's had plenty to do. The kicking game from Wigan has been outstanding. I know, Eddie, it's been fantastic. Wonderful fare over this bank holiday.
Taken with ease by Dallas. Well, it keeps on coming at you this next weekend. Castleford Huddersfield, a vital match in the top 6. Friday 7:30 Sky Sports 1, and Wakefield Hull next Saturday at 6 Sky Sports 3. Don't forget also, of course, we have the NRL in Australia covered each and every weekend. 2 matches for you, Saturday and Sunday mornings. Fantastic stuff.
They're looking very tired of the Bulls. Wigan getting over the advantage line with considerable ease. They're holding back at Bradford. It's been tiring throughout this second half for them. Lowes having a little bit of a shot, not surprisingly.
Well, they have been actually talking to each other for much of this match, Lowes and Johnson, since Johnson's come on. Radlinski, the dummy half. Farrell again, a crossfield kick from Farrell. Robinson's after this. Gardner claims it well.
And there's more problems. It looks as though Lee Radford is down there with a bad ankle injury. He was involved in the high kick, trying to defuse it.
Well, Brian Noble knows that it is so important to stay healthy coming into this crucial stage of the season, and he might be a worried man, the fact that so many are going down here tonight. Mind you, Danny Skolkov, of course, cracked a rib, we understand. He's on his way to hospital. Good hands from Bradford, Forshaw. Oh, but he shouldn't have done that. Should have taken the tackle.
No real support, really, and they've gone that short blindside yet again.
Cassidy.
The tempo.
It is
amazing.
Unrelenting, isn't it? Craig Smith.
Come on, play your
Terry Newton. Terry Newton showed it once, gave it to O'Loughlin. Carney wants it wide.
Then again, notice how this Bradford defence, they're confused all the time.
This is Aspinwall. Carney into touch, I think.
Yeah,
just a bit. Get a shovel and dig him out of the ground.
No way that Lee Gilmore was going to allow him to get through there.
Yeah.
Good work though. Aspinwall has had a big game. Ooh, pretty high, comes to daddy. Boom.
Right, Terry, downtown. Careful.
The clock's the biggest enemy now to the Bradford side. Mike Gregory must be feeling pretty confident now that those 2 vital points in the Super League will be his.
Well, they'll be 3 points behind Leeds and 3 ahead of Saints if they win this. Bradford could have opened a 5-point gap over Leeds if they'd have won. If they win, still time. But the Challenge Cup holders face Leeds at Oxford in 2 weeks' time, and that looks increasingly like it will decide the league leadership ahead of the playoffs. Good hands though here from Bradford. They're not done yet. Scott Naylor flicking it wide to Vicona, and he just brushes the challenge away, and he's in.
Great try.
He is in, is Tavita Vicona. And that's given Brian Noble a little bit of hope and heart. for the remainder of this match. They won't go away, you know. They're not top of the pile for nothing.
Second effort, keeping it alive here. Peacock did exceptionally well, flicked it on. The hooker was involved. Scott Naylor did everything right, sucked in the defender, in and out. That is a wonderful, wonderful try. He is so strong. The hips and the thighs just bumps off Chris Radlinski. Now it's Bradford's turn to show their quality and their class. Oh, this is wonderful stuff there. Radlinski lined him up. No way. Perfect try. Entertaining this crowd royally.
He was 29 a week ago tonight. He hadn't scored for the last 3 until that moment. Deacon to fire the extras. He has. It is not over yet. This match is not over yet. Wigan might think about putting the cue on the rack, but Bradford will keep on coming. Vicona's try. 152nd appearance for Bradford. That unbelievably is his 93rd try.
Such a powerhouse. As you say, there's still plenty of time. It was getting a little bit dangerous for this Bradford side. As I mentioned, the time just ticking away.
Now there is something for Bradford to think about here, because last week at Headingley they lost a 10-point lead in about the last 5 minutes of the match. Clarkey, it's not over yet.
No, it's not. You know, the Bradford side and a lot more attack. Wigan had to do a lot more defensive work in this game, and yet of the two sides, it's the body language of the Wigan players that impresses me more. I guessed at half-time in the game of Warrington and Widnes who'd win, and I got it right on that occasion. I see Wigan finishing this game very, very strongly. They're really, really up to this occasion, and Bradford haven't troubled them really that much tonight.
Well, will lightning strike twice for Wigan in the space of 2 matches? They will surely not want to surrender 12 points.
Well, to be fair, a lot of youngsters out there, Eddie, it could be prying on their minds. And whenever Jimmy Lowes is around, he can produce the goods.
That was a good kick. It was fielded by Dallas, who runs it back bravely.
Back behind. Well done, Jamie. Here, mate. Good lad.
Well, last time Bradford scored, Wigan responded immediately. Here is Carney.
It's been a great game, and you've got to also give a lot of praise to the man with the whistle, Steve Ganson. He's been talking to the players non-stop. Get away, move away, let him play the ball. They're getting it right to these referees. It's taking a while.
Craig Smith eventually falls. It's on the last. Newton. Back it goes to Farrell. Farrell with the kick. And Reardon not interested. Good kick from Andy Farrell. Just eating up the clock.
12 points in front, the experience coming to the fore.
Worth just reminding you, by the way, what's to come for these two sides. Wigan have got Halifax away, Saints away, Hull here and Castleford away. Bradford, London away, Leeds at home, Castleford at home and St Helens away. Doesn't get any easier, does it?
Tough. It's been very rare that we've seen an easy game throughout this season.
Vicona. Whoops.
That was all right, across the chest.
O'Loughlin. This is Reardon again.
Got to start looking for Jimmy Lowes, Paul Deacon, little chip over the top.
Gilmore, the man in the white boots.
Chris Radlinski, yet to fall back fully, is in the position of a sweeper at the moment. Now he's dropped back, anticipating the kick.
And Lowes has gone for the touchline. And Radlinski is herring after it, and he will get it before it goes over the whitewash. Radlinski showed it, and Hartley wouldn't be fooled.
Well, he knows we're 12-point lead. No point in risking a chance of trying to offload, get the mistake, give the momentum back to this Bradford side, who, after scoring that try from Vicona, certainly has lifted them.
Crucial stage of the match, Phil, 10 minutes to go.
Yeah, Wigan have played well in many departments. Probably the best, though, has been the field position. Whenever they've gifted the ball to Bradford, it's been on their own terms, hasn't it? Deep inside the Bradford half, and They'll be looking now to carry on continuing to complete these sets of possession, not just to retreat them into a shell with one-man rugby, as Newton ducks out of a dummy half and finds Hock to the left. They want to get a good kick to the end of this set, and with that sort of form, really, you can't see Bradford scoring a 100-metre try.
Every time Wigan put a pass in, the Bradford fans are screaming forward, whether it's forward, backwards or sideways, trying to unsettle the officials. Wigan, only 6 times they've not completed their sets, but it's been pretty good ball security from both sides here.
Second. Okay, boys.
50-50 as well in the possession stakes. But
they've got to start offloading.
12
do
points
something
adrift.
different.
They've got to chance their arm, and they're starting to. Now it's Wigan's turn. Their supporters will shout forward. By Kona. Gilmore.
Well, maybe the Bradford fans should be shouting forward now, because that's what Bradford's failing to do.
Here's Gartner.
They've gone sideways far too often, crabwise across that line of defence, and Wigan's been pretty strong so far.
Deacon with a high kick, a tester for Radlinski. The big men are after him. Harpy was in there first.
Great positional sense. It's as though he has a radar, you know. Oh, look at the break!
He's away, is Aspinwall. Taking on Reardon. He's fooled Reardon. He comes back this way and Reardon gets in the second effort.
He ran out of gas. And Reardon did exceptionally well. But what a game!
Didn't have the fuel. Here's Robinson. Robinson! Bradford have got back now.
Worked hard as Lee Gilmore in defence. He's had to.
This is Craig Smith. 10 metres away. Newton. Oh, Cassidy took his eye off the ball.
No advantage, he'll put the scrum down. And he knows it. So many years of experience from the second rower, Mick Cassidy. And the break came through. What a game this youngster's had. An outstanding try. Soon after the restart, in and out. Did the fend. Reardon should have gone low. And Martin Aspinwall just run out of fuel. And it doesn't surprise you, does it? The way that both sides, the speed, the impact in the defence. I'm surprised that anybody stood out there.
Peacock gets to his feet, plays the ball to Lowe's. Here's Vangenaar. Oh, Vangenaar straight into the jaw of Danny Tickle and got the ball away. And here goes Lowe's. Tackled by Cassidy. He's lost the ball.
Yeah, he got a bad knock. Oh, the official said no. He's certainly lost it. And he's found him. There was a big hit from Cassidy that got to him. And he landed in the breadbasket right on top of the ball. This would have winded him. Oof. And that's where he lost it. As soon as the pain registered up into the brain box, you lose control there. And you can see that he's in a lot of pain. Maybe a little bit more than that fella, Brian Noble, who knows that they've had their opportunities, but they have failed to take them. All the pressure. First 10, 15 minutes of the game, it looked as though they were going to run away with it.
And here is Gareth Hock. And Dallas taking them on. Fortshaw halting him.
It looked it. Head went back.
Robinson. Tickle. Danny Tickle.
Now this is where the young Luke Robinson should come into the fore now and take them on. Do a little bit of a jink.
Will they go for the one-pointer here? They're under the sticks. Farrell's dropped back.
Yep.
Here is Farrell. Sets for it. Misses. Had to hurry it. Deacon did a great job of chasing him down. And
Look at
Ganson
that.
did well. He's right underneath the post
It's
there.
the best game he's had all season, Steve Ganson. And you can see Andy Farrell not too happy about it. But I don't know why, because it was a pretty slick pass.
Well, Deacon put him under
pressure.
so much pressure. Here's Vicona.
Second, Neil.
Mike Forshaw comes off and Leon Price gamely and bravely comes back. That sternum injury, I've never had one, Steve, but you tell me they are very painful.
Boy, oh boy, they sure are. It's like a rib cartilage as well. They'll just haunt you for the entire season.
This is Gilmore, offloads to Lowe's. They'll come down the left channel with Fielden.
It's a big gamble by Brian Noble. He knows that the ability of Liam Price, especially his stepping ability, and that is a gift.
Yes, Gardner flung the ball away in desperation, and it went straight to the ankles of Terry O'Connor.
And Gardner suffering from a bit of cramp there.
Famous win on the way, Phil, I think, for Wigan.
It is one of the most impressive performances. I've said it time and time again. Every player really has stood out. And you know, the first couple of games under Mike Gregory were a little bit shaky, but last week and then here again today, they're starting to look like a formidable side that will worry anybody if they get into the top six and have to play against them.
Yes, it's the playoffs that, of course, are looming for all the clubs. And there's a penalty. Oh, it wasn't just a flop, it was a fist that was thrown in.
O'Brien knows that some of his players are losing the plot. Sheer frustration, but it's no excuse. And watch the Wigan captain. He'll get up with a big grin on his face. He caught one, and he said, "I'll take the two." And Andy's now having a little bit of a discussion before he says to the official Steve Ganson, "I'll take the two on offer." And Jimmy Lowe's,
I don't think Jimmy Lowe's was terribly impressed with the decision. I don't think Fielden was either.
I've never known a hooker anywhere throughout the world that is impressed by any decision from the referee. But look at that. What's that then? He knows. He knows that they've sent down and thrown down the gauntlet to the others.
Well, this will definitely win it.
It's been a weird weekend, hasn't it, Eddie?
It really has. Unbelievable in many ways. Castleford beating Leeds, Hull beating St Helens, Wigan have beaten Bradford here, Castleford, they're all involved now. And Farrell adds the extras, a little bit of icing on top of the cake. 26-12. Well, the race is on now from a Wigan point of view. For second, they have Leeds in their sights.
I know it may sound a little bit churlish, Eddie, but this won't do Bradford any harm. The mere fact they've been absolutely shell-shocked, but it's got to be offside, come from an offside position. He's got the knock on anyway. And I'm just saying, sometimes you get a wake-up call, it's good for you. Leeds got one on Friday.
Yes, maybe so.
Widnes certainly did. And Warrington took them apart late in the game.
Bradford have won their last two visits to the JJB Stadium. They also beat Wigan in that cup semi-final, so there's a little bit of revenge here for Wigan tonight. Coming into the last minute of the match, and Bradford looking for something here in the way of consolation. Lowe's dummy half. Fielden was shown it, and that's Gardner, and Aspinwall's been magnificent throughout.
Had a great game, both in attack and defence. He's got through that work out wide.
Off the knees of Deacon.
This will be the last chance for Bradford now. Surely they won't receive another set of six.
Leon Price missed out Gilmore, found Reardon. It was high from Gareth Hawke. They will get another chance.
Silly play there by the sub, Gareth Hawke. Not surprisingly, Bradford take the tap.
With Vicona. Still Vicona. Now Anderson. Here is Fielden. They get him down. He's lost it. Play on.
Ooh, that was a pretty high shot as well. Was that a knock on?
This is Carney. And Carney fancies the glory. Fielden got to him eventually. Down he goes. That's it. Wigan win under Mike Gregory again. It's 4 in a row now for Mike Gregory unbeaten. The 8th match winning run ends for the Bradford Bulls. 26 points to 12. Radlinski's come back and played a full part. Farrell, Carney, Aspinwall, Radlinski himself and Dallas with the tries. Vanganar and Vicona with second half tries for Bradford, who in the end were outplayed by the Wigan Warriors. A wonderful match though to end a fantastic weekend. And Mike Gregory is quick to the microphone. He's talking to Bill.
Mike, as good a performance as you could have wished for?
Sensational, I think the word is. Defensively we were strong, our kick chase was phenomenal, and in the captain with Andy Farrell, who was only 50-50 this morning, you know, I think it was a long way to say what character we've got at the club, and then these speckies behind us, it's you know, it's very humbling today.
And now I think 3 points of seconds. You're still gunning for that?
We don't talk about that. We'll have a review tomorrow. We'll have a look at it and assess, and we'll look at Halifax. But our goal has always been the top 2. And on this performance, there's no reason why, but we've got to rely on other teams to do, you know, their own job.
You've done your job tonight. Well done, Mike.
Cheers, Bill. Thank you.
So as the man of the match, Martin Aspinwall. Congratulations, Martin. There you go. In your short career in Super League, that must be one of the highlights.
Oh yeah, it's a great atmosphere. One of the biggest games we're going to Bradford. It's a pleasure playing in these games.
Now, when it looked as though you were in control and they started coming back at you, what were you thinking then?
I was thinking last week against Leeds that they come back, but we just got to keep our composure. But luckily, in the end, we come through.
Well done, Martin.
Brilliant. Thanks to Tiso as well.
Clarkey, and this lived up to expectations. We've been building it up as being one of the games of the season, and it didn't disappoint, did it?
No, it didn't. It was a great 80-minute performance from Wigan. All athletes and rugby league players like to set themselves personal bests. I think Wigan have just improved some of their own personal bests tonight, but all the talk around the camp is improving on that week on week as the playoffs loom.
Was it a great 80 minutes from Bradford? What will they look at when they review this video?
I think again they'll look at the fact that Wigan outkicked them really, particularly in that first half, and that's what caused all the problems for the Bradford side. They must put more pressure on Wigan the next time they play against them.
And what about Wigan for second place now?
Well, the pressure mounts again, doesn't it, on Leeds, and all season people have talked about Leeds' ability to handle the pressure when they get to the big games. I guess we're going to get to see.
Well, that's the end of the round this weekend, and Wigan have won by 26 points to 12. Great match to watch. And what does it mean in terms of the table? Well, Leeds are now in Wigan's sights, and St Helens 3 points adrift. Hull, London, Warrington, Widnes, Castleford, Huddersfield. Take your pick. I couldn't tell you who's going to finish in the 5th and 6th positions. Couldn't even tell you